Welcome back to the AFL Today Show for a bit of midweek madness. I'm your host, Liam McAllion, also known as the Stats Guy. We'll get him out the way early. Leo Mullally's on the couch. He's still fired up after a Hawks win. How you going, Leo?
That's a bit disrespectful. That's a little foreshadowing there for the latest segment.
Yeah, that is the latest segment that we're getting to. We've also got Code Sports journalist Jess Robinson back on the couch. She's going to be fired up about the tribunal, I reckon, as a North fan. How you going, Jess?
Well, I'm good, but I'm also a bit flat.
I know.
I was so depressing last night, but I mean, we should have seen it coming.
Yeah, we should have. The AFL has been an absolute roller coaster this year. It's going to be a very roller coastery show. There's going to be some nice points that we're going to cover. There's going to be the tribunal that could take about half an hour just to cover.
A lot of emotions.
A lot of emotions, actually. Yeah, there could be a lot of emotions. As said, they're going to be a midweek winners and losers that we always go through. A new segment, actually, of you can't get no respect. So players that are underappreciated. There's been a lot of disrespect thrown around across the weekend.
Yeah, we want to just give them some love, give players some love, and actually just highlight the disrespect cycle that's been happening this week.
Yes, there is a disrespect cycle, which we'll touch on. We've, of course, got the Thursday night preview, which is actually a blockbuster, Essendon versus North Melbourne. We were talking before the show, Jess, as well. I think it might be North's first Thursday night game since the continuation of Thursday night footy, I think. I'm not sure.
I definitely can't remember the last time North had a Thursday night game, so I think you might be right.
Yeah,
there.
I'm not complaining though. Before we get into the show, make sure you check out all the socials. That's AFL Today AU across X, Instagram, TikTok. That's AFL Today Show on YouTube as well, and Aussie Rules Today on Facebook, I believe, Leo. Yep. And then on the YouTube, we're all on the way to 7K subscribers.
I think we got 7K today.
Oh, we hit 7K today.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. So next goal is 8K and then 10K.
Yeah, we're looking in strife for 10K by round 10.
That's all right.
Yeah, maybe we'll go 7.5K by round 10.
No, we'll go a bit. We'll go
aim high.
8K.
10. Just keep going towards 10. Right. So make sure you subscribe so we can hit those subscribers. Hit the notifications bell. It goes a long way. Make sure you check out our social media later today as well from YNR Beers. So the YNR questions that we like to do every week. You can win a shirt, some beers. It's a
hat?
A hat even. Yeah, that's good fun. So get around that and check out all the socials. That's AFL Today AU. All right. It's a big show today. There's a lot going on. A lot of North chat, which good and bad. But it's the midweek winners and losers that we'll start with. Winners. Now, I just wanted to touch on this one because Bevo, all preseason, I said he's going to be gone by round 6, round 7 possibly. The Bulldogs are absolutely flying. He seems so calm. He seems so zen at the moment. And he's just given Bulldogs, and some guys are playing career best footy under Bevo again. So is he back? Is Bevo just back as a great coach?
Well, he never left.
Yeah, but it's in... He looked so angry last year and just a bit cooked.
Maybe he's like taking some therapy or something. Just like doing the opposite to what Jamara does.
Exactly. Maybe Jamara being outside of the club has actually calmed
him down a little bit, maybe.
What are your thoughts on Bevo, Jess?
Well, I think maybe the group has kind of come together in the face of adversity with Jamara, the outside noise and everything. So, maybe there's a bit of bonding happening, a bit of extra love for the rest of the playing group. I don't know, but they are flying and never in doubt, Bevo. Never in doubt.
Never in doubt. Yeah, I think a lot of us, I don't know about yourself, but a lot of us in the preseason had him gone, but they're going so well.
And you know what? I really like that he has shut down any talk of coaching elsewhere next year. So
yeah, that's as a Dogs fan as well. I think at the start of the season, they're like, oh, I'm not sure, but you'd back him at the moment. Especially,
you'd rather him, like, if he was to leave, just not coach anywhere else. You know what I mean? If you're a Dogs fan.
Yeah, you got a premiership.
But, yeah, like he's in career best form, I reckon, as a coach.
Yeah.
And you've got, Matthew Kennedy playing great as a recruit, Riley West, career best form, James Harms, career best form. Who would have thought these guys would, outperform what they have delivered, and Bevo's getting the best out of the team. It's great to see.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. The other winners, obviously, just Carlton in general. I know
we have to pump them.
We have to pump them up.
But
they got a really good win against Geelong. Vossi, everyone's like, oh, Vossi gone. Now he's the best coach Carlton has ever had. They're talking finals now. I don't know about that.
Well, they are a game out of the 8.
Yeah, it's a long season.
It's a very long season.
We've seen more crazy things happen, but I know I was really happy to see Harry Mackay, celebrate those goals, kicked 3 on a big stage, a big win over Geelong. So really happy to see that. Yeah. But gosh, everyone just jumps the gun really early.
I know.
That doesn't sound like the AFL media.
No, we do sometimes as
well. It's Vossi. We got to give him a shot.
Yeah.
And you know what? They're turning it around. So they're on the winners list.
They are.
It was good to see that sort of every time Geelong got momentum, they were able to bring it back into their favour. I think that's credit to Vossi and his sort of aura when he walks in the room, the command he has over the players, but they still won't make finals though.
No, I don't think
calling it.
I don't think they're going to make finals either.
I need to see more.
But we need to see a bit more consistency. And as I said, I don't think Geelong have been playing very well. I've been saying that on the last.
You said that like the last 8 shows.
Yeah, I know, because everyone's been not agreeing with me, but I genuinely don't think Geelong have been that good this year. Jess, you got a few more winners on this list. Goal of the year contenders. We actually do a goal of the year segment every week from the AFL
socials,
video
yes.
on the socials, so check that one out. But there was a lot of good goals the last couple of weekends, especially last weekend.
Yeah, I just think what a time to watch as a fan.
Yeah.
There was just so many moments to get excited about. And I mean, not to bring the North bias in again,
No, he was in there, yeah.
George Wardlaw's goal was amazing. Like
Clutch.
And just in the timing of the game as well. Was really impressed. Bobby Hill's goal on Anzac Day doesn't really get much better than that.
Which one was better?
Oh,
they were both kind of similar.
They were very similar. One was a drop
One
punt.
was a snap.
One was against Essendon. One was against Port when it was really close.
What has that got to do with anything?
I don't know. Just clutch. It's harder to kick a goal.
I would love to say George. I think Bobby's is better. Just he was a bit there was 90,000 plus at the G. Like, doesn't really get much bigger than that.
Yeah, no, good call. What else we got here? Butters' leadership qualities, Jess?
Yeah, I thought it was a really mature display from Butters. For context, I mean, we've all seen the clips, but Jason Hall-Francis and Ken Hinkley having a bit of a head-to-head on the ground for everyone to see. And as Jason was, going to just walk away from his coach, Butters really just brought him in.
Yeah, which is very rare for him. He's got the most fines in AFL history. He's a bit of an angry man on the field, but he did step up. Yeah,
I just thought it was a really mature display from him, and I think Port fans would have loved to see that. Yeah,
no, I agree. Another one here, Suns' big win. We were talking about this, Leo, as well, that they just needed to get that back on track because their week before was horrible.
Yeah, well, they were lucky. Well, not lucky, but they just flipped the switch, didn't they?
Yeah.
In that sort of late second quarter, third quarter, down by 5 goals, up by 10?
Yeah.
8?
Kicked 12 unanswered.
Yeah, 12 unanswered. So you're kind of thinking there for a bit, this is one of the upsets of the round and a bit of maturity from the Suns, which you probably have never ever said in their whole lifetime.
No.
Yeah.
They've shown. So.
Probably their best win.
Yeah, could be.
Could be up there with one of their best wins.
Maybe if they knock off Brisbane this week.
I think, if they beat Brisbane, which would be very hard.
But it's a big if.
Yeah, it's a massive if. And it was against Sydney, who have been very disappointing under Dean Cock. They've had a lot of injuries, but yeah, I'm a little bit worried about Sydney down in 14th. That's another team that I'm crossing out of finals as well.
I think we put them on the losers
early
list.
There.
Well, you always tell me that I'm always sitting on the fence.
To be fair, I went early with Carlton.
Yeah, you went early with Carlton. Last winner that we got down here, Steele Sidebottom, his epic Anzac Day performance. If you win the Anzac Day medal, you can celebrate that for the rest of the year, I reckon. He was unbelievable. Career high 15 clearances for him. So good.
I just think he had no right to go out there and just put on that performance.
He's old. He's so good.
Yeah, incredible.
I've got a question for the panel. What do you think is higher, his current coach's votes this season or his age?
I don't even know how old he is, but that's a big call. Well, I'm going to say his age because you'd have to have a lot of coaches' votes in 7 games.
Jess?
To be fair, he probably could be coaches.
He's been bloody good.
I think he's equal first in coaches' votes. He's 34 coaches' votes and he's 34 years old.
Wow.
So it's even.
There we go.
What an effort, though, to be on 34 coaches' votes at his age.
Incredible.
When everyone thought he was
done. Yeah,
declining a little bit.
Him and Pendles are just showing that they could just play forever. It's a bit
honestly
annoying
could.
because I don't want Pendles to pass Brent Harvey's games record, but he could get
will.
100 more games.
He will because he'll be sub a few games as well.
Do you reckon next year? Yeah.
He doesn't look like he's slowing down.
Yeah,
so.
He doesn't.
No, he doesn't. All right, that is probably the only positives for the rest of the show. Let's get into the losers, Leo. This is you've been coming on for the long run. You can check out the socials as well. Marcus and myself have done a few clips on it. But the AFL tribunal system, just in general, is backwards. It's upside down. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, the fact that the Paul Curtis suspension, and he's also another loser, is 0 or 3 weeks, I don't understand that.
How does that work?
As an AFL fan, you hear that and you go, why? Why is that 0 or 3 weeks? It is just a system that is set up for failure, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Paul Curtis, unfortunately, he's a loser. He doesn't want to be a loser.
No
one in the AFL community wants him to be a loser.
No.
But he is a loser according to the AFL tribunal system and the MRO. I think Michael Christian has lost the plot.
They have, yeah.
Like, you don't need a physics expert to tell you that is just like a normal
accident.
tackle.
Yeah.
It's an accident in a football field.
Yeah.
Quite remarkable. Hey, like every single person in the AFL community
is agreed on this.
It's not even us being biased North fans, Jess. There's literally everyone's in agreement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the tribunal just think otherwise. Unfortunately, North have chosen just to, wear the cost. And
I think if they appeal again, the AFL just want to stamp their foot down at the moment because I don't think there's been many challenges this year. Maybe one challenge this year that's actually been successful in the AFL.
Maybe. I can't quite remember.
But that's a disgrace.
Yeah, it is a disgrace. And for fans watching at home, like how are you meant to watch the game? A tackle, you think, great. It could have potentially been, in the back or,
possibly,
you get a free kick,
if
it's there. But, and then just to be rubbed out for 3 weeks. I don't know. It's a huge blow for North as well.
Yeah.
Feels like everyone's against
North.
A nice little run.
We're not good.
We're not good.
Give us our best player, Paul Curtis, and then you go, oh, no, they're playing the Bombers this week who aren't going that well either. Oh, no, you will take your best player away and make you even worse. Like, give us a chance.
I just love that the AFL's also like, oh, what is he meant to do? He's meant to roll him on his side.
What, you're running?
He could still hit his head and get concussed, can't he? Like, if he rolled over, then the same result. It's like, he should have just like taken him to ground or like not tackled him to, like.
That was bizarre listening to the list of things that he could have done in that half a second of a tackle.
Maybe he has to put a pillow underneath his head. Does he have to, I don't know, escort him off the ground under his arms? I don't know.
It's like we're micromanaging AFL players. Imagine like, if they had to micromanage you and like you have to repeat 8 sentences over and over when you start the show.
Well, I do that already most of the time on our intros, but
don't jinx it.
Yeah, but the thing is that I know they want to protect the head, and concussion is such a huge topic of conversation. It's a focus for the AFL, but AFL players volunteer to go play the sport. That's what their job is.
Exactly. They know that they could get concussed, possibly.
It is a risk of the game.
Yep.
It's a risk that these players take and they choose to take. So was that a stomach rumble?
Yep.
He's a bit hungry.
I wasn't going to say anything.
he's hungry for less weeks.
Yeah. But so I don't know. Is it now every time a player gets concussed?
That's the annoying.
Is that the conversation?
That's what I was going to ask you guys. In the rules, you have to get suspended if someone gets concussed. But like, just say you run into each other. Just say there's a guy running one way and a guy running the other, and they both get concussed. Do they both get 3 weeks? Like, where are we?
It makes zero
swear
sense.
they said they weren't going to look at the impact anymore. I swear they said that.
Well, they've changed their mind.
They flip-flopped.
And then a few more things on that, because this is just, everyone's fired up about this.
Yeah.
Comparing it to some other tribunal incidences was... who was I going to say? Cozzy Pickett. He got 4 weeks.
Was it 4 weeks?
I had a look just before.
I thought it was
No,
3.
but he had 4 weeks for taking someone out on not on purpose, but very careless, bumping him in the head.
Yeah.
And then this gets 3 weeks for a complete accident. We've had, who else? So there was a few other ones. Oh, Dan Houston, same thing. He jumped in the air, bumped someone in the head. That was 3 weeks. How's that
Did he get 5 last week on the one? Last week, last year.
Yeah, he got 5. So that was a bit different.
But earlier in the year, It doesn't make sense. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
They did, the North legal team did refer to Patrick Dangerfield's case last year where that got overturned.
If your name's Patrick Dangerfield, Nick Dacos or Cripps.
I think North needs to engage Carlton's lawyers.
Yes, the Carlton lawyers.
There's a star tax, isn't there?
Yeah. Last one on that. I don't know if you guys saw Luke Parker's Instagram story.
A lot of the North boys getting around.
Yes. Yeah. I actually respect that because AFL, a lot of other sports, the players are very outspoken.
Yep.
But AFL's not usually like that. The North players, especially Luke Parker, what did he end up saying on there? He
said something like you can't tackle anymore.
Yeah.
Like
please join us at Thursday nights touch footy.
Yeah, touch
Watch
footy.
him get fined for that.
No,
honestly,
I don't think
respect it though.
I respect it.
Good
he
on
shouldn't
him.
get fined. Watch him get fined.
He might. But yeah, I'm glad people are standing up for it.
The one tackle I'd love to just compare it to, which I'd love an explanation, is Nick Watson on Harley Reid.
Very similar, yeah.
That to me, as a fan, I'm looking at it, I'm like, that is maybe 95% the same tackle. And, those boys shook hands after the game and posted on Instagram saying,
It was
great contest.
Yeah, it was a good time. And Nick Watson got paid holding the ball. Like, he got the free kick for it. So,
well, that was holding the ball.
It was, but
yeah.
Oh, it was very similar though, because his head actually ended up hit his shoulder, then his head hit the ground, and he just didn't get concussed.
I said on Sunday's show that he just cast a spell and he didn't get.
He cast a spell. Oh, cast a spell, did he? All right, are we past that for now? We've vented enough on that one.
For now,
it's a big losers this week on that one. A few other ones, Jess, that you've written down here. Dan McStay's injured as well, he's actually been playing pretty well for the Pies.
Yeah, I think it's just such a sad result for him.
Yeah.
He's out for up to 8 weeks, MCL injury to his left knee, but this comes after like a couple of knee injuries for this guy. He missed the 2023 grand final with an MCL. He did his ACL as well in that same year. So he's been out for a long time with the knees. He was putting together a string of good performances.
Yeah, he's had a couple of 3-goal games. He's been pretty solid, but again, he gets injured.
Yeah, so he makes the loser list.
Fair enough.
Feel for him.
The last loser that we've actually touched on this on our show. I really like this one. It's about Rory Lobb's hair and his partner, who's very annoying on TikTok, but I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
I love her. Oh my God.
There we go. I thought she was in losers because of that.
No, she is fantastic. Lexi Mary. I'm a fan.
So you're saying Lobb's the loser here, not...
His hair did look really bad on the weekend.
It didn't look great.
Yeah, well, if we've been following along, she specifically said no shaving there.
Oh.
They're getting married later this year.
He's going to look like a bald.
It'll grow back.
So that was her one requirement. I thought her reaction was quite hilarious.
I haven't seen that one.
Rory just really pushing the buttons, I think.
Yeah, I said he buffed it. He looked like a bowling ball. Like Leo said, he's not sure he's going to be able to grow it all back.
Yeah, no, I think he'll grow it back. He's just not leaving himself with a lot of room for next week.
No, he's not, is he?
What's he going to do? Just how can you dye a shaved head?
Yeah, he can't really, because he's done something different every week.
Yeah.
He can't, what is he going to go from here?
Was that his reason, just so he didn't have to keep it up?
I think he liked keeping it up though.
Same.
He wanted the views, I reckon.
Yeah, for the but
it was great. Yeah. So, made the losers list mainly because Lexi was
not happy.
Not happy.
For the win. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, we've gone through that was the biggest losers segment we've ever had, but we have to let the tribunal know that they just need to be better. For the fans, for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to watch the game at the moment.
I know.
I think, half of the entertainment is which way is the umpire going to call something. So
it's brutal. Yeah, no good. All right, that was winners and losers. Let's get into the brand new segment. Here we go. Can't get no respect. Now, Leo, we talked about this before the show, the cycle of disrespect from the past weekend. So I'll go through it and then we'll have a chat. You've had Kane Collins have a go at Sheasel saying he's not that good. He's played 51 games. Anyway, we'll get into that. Jason Horne-Francis against Ken Hinkley. There was a bit of biff there. Ross Lyon having a go at Hugo Garcia. Then you've got McWalter being disrespectful by insinuating Sam Mitchell was disrespectful for putting Tom Barrass forward. Did that make sense, Leo?
Yes,
you're a Hawks man.
You're the one that doesn't make sense to. You had to read it out.
But overall, make that make sense. There's a lot of disrespect in the AFL.
We need a bit of positivity.
Yeah.
I reckon first we analyse the cycle of disrespect.
And
then I've got a little bit of appreciation for a player.
Okay.
Sure, that'd be good.
So Corns against Sheasel. He's getting cheesy. What is it?
Cheesy ball.
touches? Cheesy balls.
I did not like this.
No.
You do not like it?
No.
Well, obviously he hasn't been playing as well. But he's comparing him. I saw the list of the comparative players. He's comparing him to the top 10 best midfielders in the competition.
Isn't he in that conversation?
He was last year, but not right now.
So I think that's his point. He's not in it now, right?
No.
Or I just misread his point.
No, I think his point is that he just needs to have more impact on the game because he was saying even last year he had the same impact. But I think
last year Sheasel was having great impact on games when he moved midfield half forward, and I think. Yeah, I think that was, everyone sort of agreed with that, right? No one was saying he didn't, right?
No, he was
great.
This
year, he hasn't had the impact.
Yeah.
But he'll
also,
get the impact. He'll turn it around.
He'll fight you there, but that's my point.
Playing for a bottom team
exactly,
is not
we can't get the
ball. Easiest thing ever. It's not like...
As a 20-year-old.
Exactly,
right. He's played a great role. North need that. He shows up every single week.
Yep.
If you're going to criticize anyone, I think you could pick 10 other guys.
I'd say 18 other guys. Actually, how many are on a team?
45.
How many are on the AFL list? Yeah, 40, 39 other guys.
So,
It's an interesting one.
It's just a weird one that he loves to pick his favourites.
Oh, yeah.
He was talking up Jason Horne-Francis saying it was all good, and then he has a go at Sheasel. But that's probably
one thing that I just really didn't like.
Yeah.
You can criticize a game, criticize the impact. You've got all all of that to go off, but then to create a full segment.
Yeah, just about one player.
Yeah, I don't know. You have players going out, taking personal leave, citing mental health, and then you've got people like Kane Corns just tearing down a 20-year-old and creating a segment based on his name. Does Harry Sheasel get some like commission or something out of a segment being from his name?
That's a very good point.
I don't know. Can they just steal that?
Ring up Channel 7 and say, can I get a bit of extra cash for that?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there needs to be some approvals.
Maybe.
That. But I just didn't respect it.
No, fair. That is definitely fair. Leo, you want to touch on the McWalter versus Sam Mitchell versus Tom Barrass versus everything there? It's a bit weird.
Don't get what's going on in Minnie's head at the moment.
Yeah.
So why is it disrespectful? Like, I'm asking Minnie, if you're watching.
Do you want to give some context to people who didn't know what happened on the weekend?
So, I thought you already did that.
As in,
I will.
about Tom Barrass going forward.
I will. Yeah. So last quarter of the game, pretty much done. Mitchell sends Tom Barrass forward. Against his old side. He's kicked 1 goal for, I think.
Yeah.
In his career for West Coast.
Yep.
McWalter after the game didn't say it directly, but insinuated there was disrespect in that move. I don't think there is. I think Sam Mitchell's known to throwing the magnets around.
Put Sicily forward.
Put Sicily forward. In his first year of coach, he actually put Sicily in the midfield with centre bouncers. You know, he said in the post game he wants to try battle forward. He wants to try.
Yeah.
Actually, he didn't say this, but there's rumours Scrimshaw might go forward. He was having set shots at training one day. So he's just trying things. It's not disrespectful. Focus on your own backyard, mate.
Yeah, you said that before the show. McWalter just needs to concentrate on his own team. Like,
absolutely.
They were getting smashed. I think Sam Mitchell can do whatever he wants. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Mitchell said that this was their opportunity to try a few things. Yeah. So I think McWalter probably just needs to take a look at his own team and go, we gave them the chance to try some new things. Yeah, that's a bit concerning.
It was. It's just a bit strange by McWalter, and I think he needed to leave that one be. Leo, a bit more positivity that we're trying to get on the show.
Yes.
You've got an unappreciated player just in general this season. Who is it?
Jake Bowie, I want to give a shout out to from Melbourne.
Yeah,
now, a lot of people find Melbourne boring and bland how they move the football, and I tend to agree. They are a bit boring.
He's trying to start positive and then he said they're boring. But
I'm just trying to turn it into a positive light because Jake Bowie has had a breakout season so far. Against Richmond, as a halfback, he had 5 clearances. So not only is he rebounding and delivering it inside 50 with great ball use, he's actually getting his hands on the ball first from a stoppage in the defensive half and helping them rebound that way. That really surprised me, that stat. I think that goes very unnoticed in games because he is a bit small in stature. He's not the tallest unit rolling around. And I think he's overtaken definitely Christian Salem in that halfback position.
Yeah, Salem hasn't been good since.
He's been racking them up, but he hasn't been
the impact that he had 3 years ago.
Usual self, I'd say.
I think you could say that about most of
Melbourne. That's very true.
So just a shout out for Jake Bowie. Underrated hero of the week.
Yeah, just needs a bit more respect. Is that what you're saying?
Put some respect on his name.
Yeah, I like it, mate. All right, before we get into the Thursday night footy preview, Leo, there's a guy behind the camera that might have to replace you. Is he excited? Is he excited as an Essendon fan?
He doesn't look it.
He doesn't look excited, but
he looks scared.
I know he does look it. No, you don't think he's going to be scared against
the only reason I was on this part is because he came late to work as normal.
Oh, bang! Where did that come from? Anyway, the Essendon fan Marcus Bazzano is going to be jumping on the show as we get into Essendon versus North Melbourne. All right, Thursday night footy preview, the absolute blockbuster Essendon versus North Melbourne. Who would have thought? Thursday, 7:30 at Marvel Stadium. We've got a bit of North bias between Jess and I here, so we've brought in Marcus Bazzano. How you going, Marcus, as the Essendon man?
I had to even out the studio a little bit. I was getting a little bit too North biased for my liking.
Honestly, we've had North in every segment.
That is actually fair.
So fair enough.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit more happy with the selection news that has just been announced. Should we talk about that?
We can talk about that. So obviously we've got no Paul Curtis that we've touched on, so we can talk about that another time. But another big out, Jess, that we've just found out about, which is brutal, but...
Alistair Clarkson has just revealed to the media that George Wardlaw won't be playing tomorrow night. To quote...
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Straight from the newsroom.
Yeah. Clarko, George Wardlaw copped a pretty savage corky. He's been unable to train. He's close, but we don't think he's recovered to play to the level required tomorrow night, so he won't play.
Oh, even if he played with one leg, he would still go 100 miles an hour. He's just such a legend.
Yeah. Really hurts for North and North fans. I don't know. Who are we bringing in?
Yeah, well, I think we'll probably bring in, I'd say Eddie Ford for Paul Curtis. But anyone else on the radar, Jess?
I love to know where the selection team's head is at for Will Phillips.
Yeah.
What more does he need to do? He's averaging 24 disposals and 10 tackles in the couple of games that he has played in the VFL side. So I think maybe it's time he gets a shot.
Yeah, I agree. He'll probably come in for George Wardlaw, I'd say. But Clarko, I don't know if he likes him.
I don't know if he likes him either.
Yeah, I think that Wardlaw out is huge. He was the one player that I was afraid of because he's actually one of the North Melbourne players, probably other than maybe LDU to an extent and Jerry, that are actually, they go in, they have a lot of grit. Yeah. I just love the way he goes about his footy. He was superb on the weekend.
That was probably his best game last week, yeah.
A 5-day break is pretty rough, coming back from an injury himself. So unlucky for George Wardlaw.
Yeah, I don't mind Will Phillips in. Eddie Ford, I think, will come in. He's been kicking a few goals in the VFL, but Paul Curtis is just such a big out. The other one that has to be in the team, I don't care what anyone says, is Riley Hardiman. He was really good on the weekend. He was really solid one-on-one. I think he only missed one target, I think, on his left foot. He's got a really silky left foot. Just a solid guy down there, even though he was so young. He was really good.
And he shows up to each contest as well. He's really putting in the effort.
Shows up to each contest rather than just leaving someone out the back like we always do.
Oh my God, it's frustrating.
Obviously, there was a bit of controversy with Aidan Court and Griffin Logue being dropped. Do you think any of those come back into the side? We've got a rather forward line with
maybe
Wright,
Griffin
Caddy
Logue,
and Langford.
But
to be fair, I would rather see the lineup we brought in to face Port last week. Yep. Logue did not show much at all in the game the week before. So I'd be happy to see him sit out again and really earn his way back into the team because the guys really stood up till last weekend. Obviously it wasn't perfect, but they were putting in some pretty good effort.
If we play to the level that we played at on the weekend, then we've got a chance against Essendon, but with some big outs and the quick break is not good for North, but that's another one. Essendon selection, anything in the news?
I wouldn't expect much to change. I think Sardis could come back into the side just because he was a late out on Anzac Day in the VFL.
That's right.
He got subbed out early, so on our 6-day break, I think he will probably come back into the side. It would be a bit harsh for Jai Menzies to come out, considering he'd played well in gather round.
Yeah, he's been all right.
But also Gresham hasn't really done much.
Is it you calling Gresham and now you're telling him to get
in the
dropped?
last 2 games, he's been virtually non-existent. No, he got subbed out as well. Harry Jones will be okay after rolling his ankle
that's good.
on Anzac Day, so apparently he'll be fit enough.
Yep.
So I expect him to play as well.
Yeah, nice. I loved Nate Caddy. I think he could have a big game against the Roos because the Tolls usually do. He was really good on Anzac Day as well. He had a couple of goals, 19 disposals. Like he can do a bit of everything. Yeah,
he can. He's good on the ground and he's athletic as well. Like he runs around the ground well. He applies pressure as a tall forward, which is what we've lacked for Essendon. But you have put in that one of our other tall forwards has a pretty good record against you guys.
Well, very nice. Peter Wright, he always, 2-metre Peter, he always dominates us. He's got more goals against North than any other opponent in his career. There's 22 goals in 10 games. It's 2.2 goals, which isn't like a huge stat, but
it's not
he's
crazy,
been very consistent. He's had a couple of 4-goal games against North, which I remember, and I go, this guy's going to be really good, and then he'll have a bad game against a good team. Then he'll fire up against. So I'm a little bit worried about,
maybe the size of Griff Logue does need to come back.
Yeah, maybe. I think we might bring another tall back because Port don't have that many talls down there.
And I'm pretty sure North Melbourne had the bye, didn't they, in the VFL? So
they might have.
It was kind of hard to prove themselves, but I guess a bit of an extra break won't help when majority of your players are coming off a 5-day break.
Yep. One more thing on Essendon, Marcus, that we talked about. Obviously, your coach is our old coach, Brad Scott. There's rumours that he might reward some VFL form. He never did that at North, and he's never done that at Essendon. So what do you reckon?
Well, one of the form players in our VFL has been Alan Davey in the small forward department.
Okay.
He's really been putting a lot of pressure on, and that's what they really want to focus with him. And he's been rewarded with hitting the scoreboard as well with a couple of goals every game. So either him or Zach Johnson, he was picked 70 in our draft. He had 30, I think he had 34 and a goal on Anzac Day. Lit up for the big occasion, but I think it's probably a bit too soon for him to come back into the side.
No, definitely fair enough. I'll get into some stats because that's what I do, but there's some stats that are very against North Melbourne here, unfortunately. The Bombers have won their last 11 matches against the Roos. That's since 2016. That was the last time we were good, the last time we made finals, I believe.
That was our banned players, I think, that year.
Oh, yeah, banned players. Because half your team
we had
was
our VFL side out.
I don't know about you, just the only team I want to beat all year, being from Essendon, is the Bombers. I can't stand them, but we haven't beaten them for almost 10 years. Not good.
Chances don't look strong.
No.
But
But you got some positive
I was
news.
trying to think of something just really quickly to bring some positive energy. I do feel like it's going to be a game where somebody just has like a great game. Like, is it Larky who kicks 6 or is it down the other way? Probably.
No,
he was very uncharacteristic last week.
I think if there's a time for Larky to bounce back, it's going to be this week. So that's my hope.
I like that.
But in the same breath, it could be Peter Wright who
could be Peter
kicks
Wright.
back.
That'd be cool if both of them kick 6. That'd be a nice.
It could
game.
be a nice big scoring game.
Well, both teams don't really like to run both ways
on
defense. So you're right. It could be a very high scoring game. But I think, the game's going to be one in the midfield, isn't it?
Yeah, the midfield is going to be pretty exciting. I've got another one here. Caleb Daniel has had 27 plus disposals in 3 of his last 4 matches against the Bombers. Now, he's getting a lot of touches and turning it over. He's been I thought he was going to be one of the best recruits.
Yep.
He's usually such an elite kick. And he's lost the plot. He had like 3 out in the Fools on the weekend.
It's been frustrating to watch.
Very frustrating because you know the level he can play at. And he hasn't. Maybe he actually played really well against Gold Coast when we were there in the gather round. But other than that, he's been very disappointing.
I think there's also no excuse for that. All the turnovers and anything. You can be in a bad performing team. But still, someone like Caleb Daniel and his kicking ability, like, you need to be hitting some targets.
Yeah, because he's going to get 25 plus disposals every week just because the way he plays. He doesn't really defend that much, but he's there to hit the targets because we don't have enough guys down there that do that. And he's just not doing that at all. It's also his 200th game. So I'm hoping that he just lives for that. He lives for the 200th. Like Parker was awesome last week in his 300th.
God, he's been good.
He's been really good the last couple of weeks. So... But I'm just a bit worried about Caleb Daniel,
He's someone as well, Luke Parker, who's had a little bit of his history with Essendon as well before.
Yeah.
Obviously with Dylan Shield.
Yeah.
The whole little scare tactic.
I forgot about that, yeah.
So it should be interesting. Like, obviously there's... North Melbourne like to think there's a little bit of a rivalry brewing there. But we have a few other teams.
Are you telling us that there isn't?
It's like little brother sort of vibes, I think.
We've still got Frank the Tank Drew Peachy Jr. in the best game that I've ever been to.
No,
how long are we going to hang on to that?
I've hung on to that for the amount of group chats.
The
amount of group chats I've sent that gif of Drew Peachy doing that. I haven't done it for a while though because we haven't been good. But I just really want to go at that. Yeah.
I think I'm also predicting a bit of like Kako magic.
Oh, well, he needs to fire up.
I can see it's probably going to happen against a team like North. So.
Yes, he does. North are very susceptible to small forwards as well, which we even made Vandermeer look good in round 1.
If you put Luke McDonald on him, he'll give him a bath.
Yeah, there's I don't even know why are we even talking about North this whole time. It's actually brutal. We got anything else on this that we want to talk through? Anything else at all?
Well, Goldie facing North. Which
that's
legacy game.
He said Goldie was going to win the Anzac Day medal last week.
Goldie v Cherry.
Goldie v Cherry. Cherry will give him a bath, but that makes me sad because I love Goldie.
Yeah,
I think he will. We usually go against each other in this one. What do we think? Should we have a little bet in this one, Marcus?
I think so.
I think it's only fair. Do you guys do something?
Yeah, I think we were discussing some food, but maybe let us know on the socials.
Yeah,
we're going to have a poll.
Mm-hmm.
Any suggestions at all, Jess, that maybe what we should go against each other or?
Oh God, I'm not your go-to.
I think there was a cinnamon.
It's too nice to hand out.
Cinnamon challenge, hot sauce.
Oh,
possibly. Yeah. I don't really want to do any of these.
I reckon a live bug would good, but I think that sort of passed the thing.
Someone said
I'm a little bit more confident now, but
I don't know if
we'll go the Rory Lobb haircut. Maybe the comments.
The shaved head, Rory Lobb style.
Maybe not that far.
Also, I go for North.
Live on air.
I'm not betting again.
I think the comments should let us know. I think we're set on doing a food related one.
Yeah, so Leo's going to chuck up on the socials in the poll on the story of Instagram, I think. Maybe even on Twitter as well. I said that really weirdly as he laughs behind the camera. But yeah, vote
you sound like a boomer talking about social media.
I'm rattled because I know that North are going to lose and I know they're going to have to do one of these things. I'm very rattled. All right, let's get into the tips because I'm absolutely rattled from this North game. Who are we going to tip in this one, guys? I'm guessing I know who you're going to tip, Marcus.
It would be rude for me if I didn't go for my own team, but I'm going to go the Bombers. I think probably around about that 3-goal mark. I think it's still going to be really close. Like 2 of the last 3 meetings, I believe, have been really close between us and North Melbourne. So
I don't think it has been, but okay.
No, I think the last one was 40.
There was been two. The last one was 40, but the two before that were decided by less than two goals.
They were, yeah.
Better.
But the last one was really bad.
The last one we kicked away a little bit, but we didn't even play that well. I think you guys just didn't show up in the first first
Don't
half.
say that.
But I do think it'll be a little bit closer. Under the lights, Thursday night footy, there's a bit more incentive to play well.
So what was the margin there?
18.
3 goals. All right. Jess, what do you reckon?
Well, before this Wardlaw news and also the Curtis suspension upheld, I was backing the Roos in all the way.
Oh, you're going against the Roos?
It's saying that I'm still going to back them in.
I love that.
Because you know what? Backs against the wall. I just don't think North like anything more than like to come out and
Shimmer spirit.
Exactly.
That is so characteristically North Melbourne, yes.
We always win when we want to.
I know. Well, I'm going to have some faith here and reckon we'll put on some sort of performance.
I like that. We could have won last week. I wish I could join you, but there's only one person on this panel that is going to tip North. I've tipped us twice this year.
You've got the North shirt and the scarf.
If we win, it's an added bonus.
Hand it over. Hand over the scarf.
We are the hardest team to tip. I know. After a 5-day break, those such big outs. I think if Paul Curtis was playing, we definitely have a chance because he can kick some goals. But I'm going to go Essendon. I think it'll be really close. I think it'll be about 3 goals, 15 points, I'm going to say. So a bit of a close one, but I can't tip us. I've lost so many tipping comps in the past because of North, so I'm just not doing that anymore.
Feels illegal to tip against your team, but I mean...
I think
head over heart.
I have every right to, I reckon.
You absolutely do.
Just because it's North. All right, I think we've covered it all. That'll do us for the AFL Today Show. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you subscribe to AFL Today on YouTube. Follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for more footy content all season long. Subscribe, star, and like all of our shows on your podcast apps. That's Cricket Today Show, AFLW Today, Hold Tickets, True Bloods, and Honest Beers. There's so much going on in this studio. Thanks very much to Gerald behind the camera. Thanks to Leo in the segments before. Thank you very much, Jess, jumping on.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marcus, and go North.
Thank you for having me. Go Bombers.
Go Bombers. And that's another episode of AFL Today done. All right.